Oh, well, hello there. Happy, it's not Whiskey Wednesday, it's Tipple Tuesday. I feel like I'm saying hi to people almost every day these days. Oh, I've I've got a weird echo. That's weird. Oh well, maybe not. Hopefully it's done there. Who knows? I'm gonna keep going. Um, anyway, oh, it's still echoing. I've got this echo. What's going on? It's like a ghost in the machine here. I don't know. Maybe I'll stop that. Maybe I won't hear it anymore, hopefully. Okay. We're going forward here. We're going on. Hopefully you can hear me out there. I have no idea why that's happening. But it's Dave. It's Tipple Tuesday. And I am excited because I am not alone tonight. I am joined by a very special guest. Um, None other than the artist and graphic designer himself, Erik Evensen, that is the artist and graphic designer for not only Distilled, ding, but also Distilled Cocktails. Ding. And I am excited to welcome him on the show, but also hoping you all will tune in and ask some questions of him. He's going to be showing off a little bit of artwork as well. And I hope that you might be able to see a couple new things he has in store for us too. So without further ado, let's ask Erik on out to the stage. Erik, how you doing?
I didn't see you there. Oh, I'm great.
Hey, there he is.
Yep, here I am. It's Tipple Tuesday, so this is what we do, right? I have a tipple.
That's right.
Yeah.
What do you have?
What did I tell you it is? It's Scotch.
Is it what I got you? Is it
Yes.
Dalmore?
Yes, it's Dalmore.
Nice.
I honestly have to say that I think ever since I had COVID, which was now, 4 years ago or something, I feel like I can't remember names as well as I used to be able to. Like people I know, actors, brands of scotch that are well known. Stuff. I don't know. Maybe I'm just 5 years older.
That's right. I'm fogging up. I've got to take my glasses off, everyone, because I ran home from teaching. I've been teaching all day, and it's actually kind of hot here. It's like 70, almost 75. And I ran home from teaching to get here. And so you're going without glasses today, folks. Sorry. Anyway, I forgot to mention, I introduced you as artist, graphic designer, of course, good friend of mine as well. But Box Meeples also says, and bartender in the chat.
Absolutely. Box Meeples will be happy to know that I know zero about mixing cocktails properly. But I am a pretty okay actor.
You're an okay actor. You make it look like you know how, right?
Actually, I think the editing made it look like I knew what I was doing. I don't think I knew what I was doing at all. It's like, I don't know, squeeze the lemon? Okay.
Oh, funny. Oh, man. So anyway, we got a lot of exciting stuff here. I'm so happy to have you on. We've got people waiting in the wings maybe to ask some questions as well. So feel free, anyone out there, if you have questions, burning questions for Erik, maybe it's about the process behind how he makes the work. Maybe it's about anything about Distilled, the original Distilled, the process there. And I know it's maybe cut off for people to see, but maybe it's also how he's been working on cocktails. Maybe it's what it's like working with this guy, having to deal with this guy. Maybe it's his own practice. Maybe it's the fact that Erik, kind of like me, also this is like his night and weekend gig. He also teaches as well. So lots of questions. If you got them, put them in the chat. I'll post them for Erik. Also, let us know what you're having on Tipple Tuesday. I'm actually having the end of this Auchentoshan single malt. It's cast. I think it's a cast strength. Yes, Auchentoshan. This is interesting because our friend Jean Enyart, who's she directs musicals. She's a choir director. They went over to Scotland, and we gave them lots of tips. And she brought this back as a nice little a distillery exclusive from Auchentoshan Distillery over in Scotland. So that's great. I'm finishing this up. Thanks, Jean. That was a lot of fun that she brought that.
That is cool.
So yeah. Well, so we've got a bunch of stuff to share. We've got, hopefully we get to maybe see some new art, I think, maybe, if we're lucky, that nobody's gotten to see yet. So that's cool. We get to maybe see some process behind how some of these cards, maybe some cocktails, or maybe some backstories behind maybe some of the characters. So what do you want to start with, Erik? Is there something that you think would be good to start with as far as where to begin?
Well, we have some... Libby's been doing some surveys, basically some polls, getting people's opinions on the new upgrade bottles, premium items, I guess. And so I can show those off. I think there are a couple that have made it into the prototype, so we can.
That would be awesome.
There. Some people have seen it, some maybe haven't.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So yes. So what Erik's talking about is that for those that might be tuning in that don't know. We did, before the campaign actually started, before the Kickstarter, we actually did a little, I don't know, fun community challenge activity with our Discord and Facebook communities, saying, hey, we have an opportunity for bottles in the game in the new expansion, one from each of the 4 regions, plus a specialty bottle. And those 4 regions, why don't we come up with a cool bottle from each one that you all get to nominate, and then Erik will illustrate those. So we did this big cool poll, and a couple of them got done before the campaign, and some of you might have seen those, but maybe not. So why don't I get your screen up here so you can share those, Erik?
Sure.
So let's see. I think you're sharing your screen. Yeah, you're sharing your screen now. Like so yeah, so feel free to talk us through. So each one is a different region. So yeah, there's the there you go.
Specialty bottle. This is it's the still bottle. This was the winner from the survey. This was my favorite one to paint because it was the easiest. I think the thing that I found most amusing with these polls was that everyone suggested awesome stuff, but then of course they chose, or everyone voted really for the most complex stuff. So I kept, whenever I would vote for the one that I thought would be the easiest to draw. Which one is going to be the thing I can bang out in half an afternoon? In this case, the stars aligned, and I was able to draw the still bottle. So this is a whiskey still for the Americans.
That's cool. Yeah. And so for those that might not know, not only, of course, still bottle, because it's meant to look kind of like a still, a pot still, but also there are certain bottles, or certain distilleries out there. I believe it's Weller, if I remember right, that actually do have bottles that somewhat look like a still. And so this is kind of a throwback to that, but also I think a really cool one. I love that concept, and that represented the Americas is pretty cool.
I really like the history in it too.
Yeah,
they did not make it easy. Yeah, Libby.
Yeah, they did not. Yeah, you were probably like, "Oh, this is great! Like, this is great. Let's keep going with these steel bottle types. This is great."
Yeah, the still. Oh, yeah, perfect. And then the next level of that was the Africa Middle East bottle, the Dodo bottle, which was less more complicated than the still bottle, but started to get a little. Once you get representational, it gets kind of challenging when you're trying to render that in glass. There's just something about the idea of rendering a translucent material to look like a non-translucent living creature. Or like, I'm not a glass blower or even really a sculptor. So for me, it was kind of challenging. But I did like how the Dodo bottle came out. I think it looks pretty fun and reminds me of, is it Bedknobs and Broomsticks, or is it Mary Poppins where they run into dodos? Or was it Alice in Wonderland? I'm picturing animated dodo birds somewhere.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's funny because that's right. They ride, or no, do they ride them? Or is that a different one?
Someone rides, I don't know. Yeah, it's all a jumble of, yeah.
But it's funny because this was Libby's Libby shared this on I think it was when we kicked it off, the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
But yeah, and this was her big push, so I was happy she got to have that one in. That's really fun.
Yeah, it looks cool. I like it. I like that it's a little squatter too, which is rare for bottles, and I like that.
Totally.
To do that.
And then let's see, we had two other regions. We had Asia, and then Asia and Oceania, and then we also had Europe that were voted on. But we, of course, those happened a little bit too close to the prototype. We didn't get a chance to obviously have that being able to be done in time. But I think you had said that maybe you had some of those done in time.
I did, yeah. I worked on them this weekend, and then I kind of so as Dave was saying, I teach also at the same university. He and I have heavy days on opposite days, so we actually are sort of like ships passing with a lot of the production of this game right now. But I also teach in the mornings. I'm done in early afternoon, and then I have a night class. So I actually like come home for 3 or 4 hours in the middle of the day. Last week I took a brief nap. And this week I worked on some arts. Actually, I was able to finish them both up yesterday.
Wow.
So the first one I'll show is Europe. So this is world premiere. No one's seen this before.
Wow. Look at that. Luthier's bottle.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
So I was excited about this because there's so many violin-shaped bottles out there, I guess, historically. And so there was reference after reference of things that are like super old. And then I saw one that was in green glass, and I thought, man, I can make this in blue glass. And then I saw one that was in blue glass.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Richard. So yeah, blue glass for Europe, right? Because it's blue.
Yeah.
Or it is in the game.
Love that.
So anyway, I show my wife. She is
a
professor. She's a conductor. She's a doctorate in conducting. She's a composer. And I was like, hey, look at this cool violin bottle I drew. She's like, that looks more like a viola or maybe an upright bass. And I got it.
Eric,
these proportions are spot on. These are spot on.
And Eric always says it like she means it. Like she just like cuts right to it. She'll give it to you.
She has a professor's knack for speaking authoritatively. Anyway, the proportions are what they are. That's what these bottles look like. They have to be more bottled than violin. So, so I decided though not to call it violin bottle and to call it the Luthier's bottle.
Brilliant.
Just brilliant. I thought it'd be a nice little nod too.
Oh, it's brilliant, man. I never even thought about it until you show that. It's so good. And I love the cap, of course. I love that. The scroll work, of course. The fiddlehead is wood, or it could be conceivably wood. I just love that.
In my mind, it's wood. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so cool.
Kind of fun.
So cool.
Most of the other ones I saw had a longer neck but no cap, or they had like a longer cap but no neck or something, and I kind of just split the difference.
Yeah.
Did that for it. So I was pretty pleased with that. That actually took way less time than I thought because I don't know, I had good reference.
Yeah. And I guess, I mean, I don't know this. You know better than me for this, but I feel like because you are working with a flat face, it's a little easier than something that's more organic or three-dimensional is a lot harder with the glass element to it.
Yeah, totally. I mean, the hardest part is, I mean, it's not really hard for me anymore, but all the little reflective bits on it, like they're partially based on pictures I saw, and then they're just partially nonsense too. When I teach digital painting and digital rendering to students, and they always ask about like, well, how do you know where the reflections go? I tell them like, well, make it up and we'll adjust from there, because really 80% of it is just nonsense. If you look at old comic books, you look at Jack Kirby's artwork and stuff, you look at old drawings of Iron Man, there's like reflections all over Iron Man. I guarantee you they were not thinking about like, well, the sun's coming in from this direction, then we have reflected light coming from this car at the back end. They're just drawn in shadows and stuff, and that'll get you most of the way there. So these are mostly nonsense, but based a little bit on, on the fact that, you know, this should be a corner kind of here, like a it's a little less flat on that corner.
I see what you're saying. That makes sense. But of course, it still, it represents, it bends reality, but it's okay because it communicates that idea. I love it.
Yeah. All right. And then the one that took a little while was Asia.
Oh, geez. Yeah. When I saw that come through, I thought, oh, I'm sorry, Erik. I'm so sorry.
I know. Yeah. I blame Libby. But we have a samurai bottle.
Ooh.
So there's some stuff. I don't know how many brands of samurai armor whiskey there are, but there's more than a couple.
Yeah.
There's one or two big ones, and I think there's even more. And so what I decided was I could kind of go to images of historic samurai armor, just kind of replicate it. So I found some that was red, found a couple different types that were red, sort of mashed them together, and turned that into like the cap for it. And
yeah,
that's pretty much it.
Oh, wow. Ooh, Aaron Wise says that may be the coolest bottle I've ever seen, talking about the samurai.
Thank you.
Oh, man.
It came out really
cool. That's
really
cool.
I'm pleased with how it turned out.
Yeah. And you can really feel the fact, like you get the sense of, okay, it's got clearly glass, but then this kind of metal, it's got like, you can just feel, it's got weight, but it's very decorative, that is cool.
My reference point for the reflections was the Imperial Guard from the Star Wars original trilogy.
Oh, totally. Yeah, that red. It's really, you can tell it's like a really hard plastic or a hard metal, hard surface.
Yeah. And those are just based on samurai armor anyway. So
totally. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Thanks, Richard. I hope it will. It's I wanted to make it red because it might be a easier connection with Asia when you see it. Like,
the red
samurai armor doesn't do it for you. Maybe that'll do it. I didn't do that with the still bottle or the dodo as much, but but felt like you could do it with this and the violin.
That is so cool. Oh man, wow. So we've got that's awesome. So we've got the still for America. We've got dodo for Africa, Middle East. We've got Luthier's bottle. I love that for Europe. We've got this samurai bottle for Asia and Oceania. And then, of course, we have the one bottle we didn't vote on. That's a specialist bottle that we decided it would be a little too hard, or not specialist, but specialty bottle. So for people that know Distilled, that's a bottle in the game that doesn't necessarily tie to a specific region. So for those that maybe remember, it's like the skull, something that's like extra fancy, extra special. It's usually either more expensive or has a special power, usually like ultra rare, right? So that's one we didn't vote on. We decided to do something a little different. Now, did you have that one too?
I do. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Should I pull it up?
Why not? And I think the person's here. Still. So why don't we pull this? There happens to be someone who's celebrating a birthday, I think. And so I want to wish happy birthday to one of my closest friends in the whole wide world. Happy birthday, Richard. You've got a cricket bat bottle in Distilled Cocktails. And thanks to Erik for illustrating that thing as well. So there you go. He says, oh boy.
This was pretty fun to do too. This was like looking at, there's a number of baseball bat bottles. There's a couple of cricket bat sort of style bottles out there. And so being able to kind of like wrap my head around that was cool. I think I get the idea for the cap from a baseball bat one, where the entire like cap was like the handle. So it was pretty fun to do. Richard, I hope you love it.
Yeah, it's cool. It is neat. It's like, it's got that, we were looking those up, and it was funny that they have, baseball bats and cricket bats. It makes sense, I guess. The people that love the sport, that have lots of money, that will say, yes, I want to make that bottle too. So we figured we'd try and put we took, I hope it's okay, Richard, we kind of put the Overs logo on there. I hope the publisher won't come out and sue us for that. We'll see.
It's not too late to paint it out, Richard.
Yeah, we can paint it out. We can change it if we need to. Oh no, he said, "Hey, it's got it on there. See that?" And then at the bottom, the flavor text right now says a bottle that serves up a perfect pairing to go with your favorite cricket card game. So for those that don't know, Richard is also a designer and publisher, and he's got a game called Overs that is a cricket card game. So we thought this would be a fun nod to that as well. So. Yeah. See, I mean, remember what I told you, Erik? What he'd say? Look, he says that about the
Yeah,
I knew it. I knew this would be a problem. I thought I'm gonna do this, but I'm worried because he's gonna ask for like the website. He's gonna ask for the website at the bottom or a QR code that you can just take
QR
a photo
code
of
and
and
take you right to the social media. Well. I like to be a little oblique. I felt like the big O was oblique enough.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but happy birthday, Richard. You deserve it. This will be fun. The special bottle in the game that people can get now.
Richard, I think that makes you a Libra like myself. So it's the start of Libra season.
Oh.
Although I think there's a bit of an internal battle between September Libras and October Libras. So.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I don't subscribe to that hokum. They're all good in my opinion.
Cool. Yeah. I can never follow that stuff. I never know any of the, besides what I'm Scorpio. That's all I know. I don't know any of the other stuff.
Mostly what you need to know.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it's just like Pokemon stats. It's not really like too legit. Yeah. Cool.
Well, hey, yeah, happy birthday, Richard. And that's why I wanted you to stay out for this. You can go to bed now. I know it's late for people over in the UK. But hope you have a good one. And yeah, cool. Awesome. Yeah. So that makes our bottle collection complete. I think it's a pretty awesome collection of bottles. People are going to be clamoring to get those out of the shop for sure. And as people can see, they're a little different. You're not getting points now. You're getting renown, which means you're getting stuff out on the map, which is a new thing too. So that's kind of fun too. So awesome. So we've got these bottles, which is pretty fun.
Yeah.
And then we had talked about the idea that maybe you could show us a little bit behind the scenes about how you made some of those amazing cocktail paintings. Yeah. I mean, everyone just goes nuts for these. It's small on my screen, but everyone just loves your illustrations. They love the cover, but then they love the illustrations. And I know when people are making cocktails in the game now, they love that they can say what they're making and look at those. So I thought it would be fun if you could show us a little bit behind the scenes how you've concocted those cocktails on the illustration side.
Yeah. Yeah. What's funny is I think I said back when we were doing Distilled, some appearance I made similar to this one, that originally I went to art school. I went to a university, but I was a studio art major and I was a painting major, which is kind of funny because I don't think most people would think of me as a painter. But it translates now into this kind of illustration work. And I do like drawing characters. I do like sort of doing comic book work, but I have painted a bazillion still lives and bowls full of fruit and grains and plants and things. And so that was one of the easier parts in Distilled for me. And this was actually like not too different from that. So one of the bigger challenges with it is, let's see, we're gonna drag this window.
That's cool.
So this is the, I figured I'd call out a few, just so you can kind of see. This is the Manhattan in a coupe glass. I ended up, I don't know if people remember, but originally like all the martini glasses were martini glasses. And I think what I did was I basically painted like a martini glass, and then I painted a hurricane glass, and I painted whatever. I just did like one glass type. And you said, well, at some point we'll probably add some other glass types. And I said, that's fine. Just let me know. And so I ended up having to reimagine this in a coupe glass, which is fine. Like I used the same cherry. But what you're seeing in here is a whole bunch of layers. And I just kind of wanted to show this because all the checkerboard stuff in here is transparent for those who aren't used to.
And what program are you using for people that are watching at home? What's this?
I'm using Clip Studio Paint. This is a specialized version of Photoshop. Essentially, it's not Photoshop at all. It's not made by Adobe, but I really like it. It has really nice brush settings and stuff. For example, I'll put on my archer glove and just add in a layer, and I'll show you. It's got really nice brush settings. So I can like you can do most of this in Photoshop too, but like if I wanted to have a more textured brush, I can get that.
Yeah.
Or
Nice.
this textured brush, or
Oh, sure.
you can do calligraphy style. What I really love using is the painting brushes. You can do like
Oh, wow.
ink washes, wet wash. This is stuff you can't do in Photoshop.
Oh, cool.
Their painting engine is good. Watercolor, stipples.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So do some. I love the gouache. It reminds me of my studio art days doing oil paint.
Nice.
Some more gouache, kind of layers in, and you can kind of
kind of like mixes almost. That's cool.
Yeah. And you can take your one of your transparent watercolor brushes, kind of start blending it a little bit if you want. So everything is kind of painted this way in here. So that's a layer I will try. But I brought it up to show everyone that just to kind of show everyone that so the grid that you see behind here is transparent. When this exports, it's a transparent image because you want the glass to be transparent. You want to have a transparency. So whatever we put this in front of, like knowing that our card was going to have a background and might be like a bar top and a brick wall or whatever, I wanted to make sure that we were able to do that, right? Like I want to make sure that the transparency would work on the card. And I think they do. Like I think they work pretty. The one thing it can't do is it can't like warp the liquid.
Sure.
But whatever. So some of them, like I think like the gimlet or whatever, actually has more transparency than this. This one has like if I change the background color to, I don't know, blue, I don't think we'll see the liquid change because I think the liquid's pretty opaque.
Yeah.
But what you can see in here is you can kind of see how I've stolen inspiration from some of these other images. Like a coupe glass, I kind of ended up just drawing a coupe glass. I don't know if this is the one I was looking at primarily or not. But they're not shaped too strangely. So if you do an ellipse and then you just kind of gesture in the sides, you're pretty much halfway there. Then it's a simple matter of layering in different levels of reflection. So if you were painting this on canvas, you would have like a glaze and some white paint, and in days of yore, you'd be using lead white. We don't use that anymore in oil painting because it kills you. It's like you don't use cadmium anymore. All the good paints are sort of like passe because they cause major health issues. I don't think I ever used lead white. I think my painting professors would lament the loss of flake white or lead white. Whatever, back in the late 90s. I remember hearing about it quite a lot. So yeah, there's levels of transparency so that if I go through here and draw in some background, you can kind of see it. Actually, you can see a little bit behind the cocktail itself.
Interesting.
But so I wanted to make sure we could do that.
Yeah, cool.
And the rest of it is mostly just like looking at color, looking at especially images like this, which are a little darker, a little bit in the kind of lighting and setting that we were going for on the card art. Like this one doesn't give me what I want, right? Like this isn't a good reference point for that image, but this is because it has a darker color palette.
That makes sense. Yeah.
More direct lighting. So I kind of leaned on that and did them all that way. So I've got a cherry on a skewer. You can see the skewer is pretty close to this skewer in terms of like the concept of it, I paint the reflections and stuff are different, but it's kind of the same shape.
Mhm.
And then the cherry is a little bit more like these cherries than this other one, just because I like the reflection on those cherries better. So
Mhm. Mhm.
it's kind of what they're all like. And
That's
then you
cool.
just like layers upon layers of reflections until I got it looking the way I
Oh,
wanted.
wow.
uh, I'll hide these images. And yeah, so you can see like the base of the cocktail itself is just there.
Okay.
And that's how I can like change it up and make it a different cocktail if I want.
So, yeah, so then you could bring a different cocktail in if
Yeah.
you're using the same glass.
Yeah, or I could like, yeah, if I knew it was going to be about the same opacity, I could like literally just be like, oh, hey,
Mhm.
I don't know what that one is. It's a little saturated. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Who's drinking that? Me on my 21st.
Yeah.
Went to a tiki bar on my 21st birthday. It was like a throwback retro tiki bar. And I drank cocktails of all kinds of colors. I couldn't even tell you what they were. Oh, yeah, there's an outline around it. The outline is also like 50% transparent. So it seems, so it matches some of the other art in the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I've got layers of outlines, layers of shadows, layers of transparency. Pull up another one. What's one of the other ones I thought would be good?
Is it all one? Is it one file? All the cocktails, or is it?
This is just the martinis. So all
Got
the
it.
martinis I had in one section, and it was largely because I was copying a lot of the same glasses. So it was
Yep.
easier for me to just drag one and say like, another coupe glass, please.
Yeah.
Let's see, where were we? Gimlet. I think I was going to show the gimlet. Is this the gimlet we used in the game?
Maybe.
Yeah. So I have this martini glass in here as a reference point. You can kind of see it. Some of the reflections are pretty similar to it because I'm using the lighting as a reference point. And then you can kind of see that the transparency behind the gimlet, like it's a little bit more of a clear cocktail. So it's
so if you draw behind that one,
yeah,
we'll see it a lot more. Oh yeah, that cool. Yeah. Oh yeah,
so
totally.
like on this card, except for the top, the top, it's a different plane.
Yeah,
it's more opaque. And you can actually see my my lime here. You can see all my little scribbles.
Oh yeah,
just nonsensing the highlight right on the text here, right?
That's
and then
cool.
Different like sort of textury effects just painted in.
And Aaron Y says, comments, this looks like the grown-up version of GIMP.
Well, I did pay for this. Like this is software I bought. So good old GIMP, open source.
Yep.
It's a good access point for a lot of folks.
Yeah, exactly.
But yep, I think you're spot on. I think it is the grown-up version.
That's funny. Wow.
Once in a while, I have a student that insists on using GIMP.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, they grew up with it or something, and I won't stop them.
Yeah.
I tell them that they do have an Adobe license through the university.
Yeah, they have free access to it. Yeah. And I get it. Like they get, then they grow reliant on it, all that stuff. But
I guess.
So okay, so then I see. So and then you're swapping out different garnishes or different, okay, interesting.
Yeah.
And that makes sense. And then don't you, some of them will have a napkin, so then you have napkins below some of them too, or is that a different file when you place them
that's
in
a whole other file?
Okay, so then when you place them in the scene, that's a whole nother file, which makes sense.
That's cool. The napkins were late addition. I just decided that maybe they should be there and maybe I could try to make them. And so I made a few, and I felt like they, much like in the original game and the base game, we have the flavor cards, and some of them have like a wet stain, like a drink green.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like maybe we could just throw them in occasionally. I don't know. So yeah, no napkins in here. They're a whole separate file. But yeah, this is just the martini file. So
that's cool.
Margarita, that's the original margarita. And then we decided it needed to be in a more custom margarita glass.
Yep,
the salt rim is just this like sort of like spray painty kind of speckle. It's the
That's funny.
same
Oh, it makes sense.
brush.
Yeah.
Yeah, same brush as I use on the lime, actually.
Eh. Oh, Libby asks, was the tiki glass tricky to get the face detail?
Absolutely. That took so long. Let's see if I even have that to pull up. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I can pull it up in time. I'll be poking around like a jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was because it's the transparency is the challenge. Like if I was painting something like that, drawing something like that was dimensional but opaque, it's a lot easier. But it's that blasted transparency that gets you every time. You end up, and it's something I teach. Like I teach students about this when they're painting in a window or a windshield on a car or even like a bubble or a water surface or whatever. We have to talk about how there's like a base color that's kind of the background that shows all the depth, but then on top you've got reflections from light, and so those might be 3 or 4 different layers of airbrushing or even like sort of watercolory brush effects, and it can be a real challenge. You don't want to overly shadow it because when it's transparent, it's not picking, light's passing through it, so it's not shadowed in the same way. Yeah, it's tricky. So yeah, that cocktail glass. Once I got the tiki glass down, I knew it was going to be smooth sailing.
And what about ice? You have I think you have a couple different like flavors of ice. Maybe with ice, do you reuse ice each time, or is it kind of do you create ice each time, or is it like a reuse ice? I feel like there's different versions of ice, or I know sometimes they're in the hurricane.
Well,
Sometimes
there's crushed ice too and cubed ice, and actually, I think I just kind of did it uniquely each time. So
yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, so here's the caipirinha. Be able to pronounce Portuguese all that well, but this one has some ice kind of floating at the top, and so I just kind of imagine
popping out the top, and then you kind of see it a little bit inside.
Yeah. So right in here, it's really just like texture.
Yeah.
Right. So
nice.
If you were painting in oils, this might be a dry brush technique, or just might be blended a bit. So you can kind of see, because this is a more opaque cocktail, you can kind of see there's more detail along the edges of the lime wedges, and then the stuff that's kind of further back is a little more blurred out.
Yep.
So that's a nice trick that you can use in a lot of different cocktails. Yeah, this ice is creamy, so it had to be
its own illustration. Yeah.
Penicillin? Did we do a whiskey sour? Oh yeah. So this ice is pretty simple. It's just like a little bit of shadow, a little bit of highlight, a little bit airbrushing and stuff. But I felt like the real detail would be up at the top with the foam and whatnot. Got our old fashioned. That one I think this was the most challenging ice, actually.
Yeah.
Because it has more highlight in it. It's a little bit more, it's brown liquor, but it's not opaque.
Yeah.
So I used a lot of photo reference on that one.
Interesting. That's cool.
Gin and tonic. Oh yeah. Is this the one we used in the game, or is this one of my other gin and tonics? I think I drew a couple of these.
I feel like that's in the game, but I don't know.
Yeah, Negroni. So this has ice poking out, and it's very opaque. So we just have hints of ice sorted in there. Just the tip of the iceberg.
Stuart H says, appreciate having a real artist do real art.
Hey, thanks, Stuart. Appreciate your comment. I don't paint in oils anymore because it's gross and it stinks, and I do like it, but like I don't ever have the space. And once I started working digitally, I barely do anything.
That's tough. Yeah, it's tough. Box Meeples asks, is it possible to see how the cards with the cocktails names will look? Do you have any of those handy?
Maybe I didn't prepare it. So let me go through my many folders.
Yeah, we get to see
camera.
We get to see the innards of your files. Look away, everybody! Look away.
Yeah, They don't all need. I mean, it's a lot. Oh yeah, here we go. Yes. So we did it subtly. So it's really just using the cocktails typeface.
Mm-hmm.
And so here's your Bloody Mary with the text. Here's your Dark and Stormy with the text.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a glow effect on it. It's like the box cover art, but we haven't really reused that typeface anywhere else in the game, and it seemed kind of appropriate to reuse it here or to try. I didn't have to shrink the art too much to make this happen. And it I think is a pretty decent size, so it's not going to hit you in the face like Dark and Stormy. But if you need to figure out like what the cocktail is,
yeah.
Well, it
and it is kind of flavor text in a way, like it's not gameplay, so I think it's okay to have that flavor, that cocktail flavor too, which is great. So
this is what it is. This is
great.
I won't go through all of them.
Yeah.
I did want to point out that this is your classic Wisconsin bar Bloody Mary.
That's right. That's what you find. This is like a normal Bloody Mary in a Wisconsin bar.
This is your standard Bloody Mary.
Standard Bloody Mary. This is not like a big blood. There's no cheeseburger on this thing.
Yeah. The fancy ones have an entire Big Mac. Or
exactly.
Burgers, like,
that's right.
Impaled on like a Jack Link's jerky stick.
Oh man, I haven't had one in a while. I need to get one soon. I didn't get into Bloody Marys until I was probably in the last 5 or so years. Yeah, I have one a year, but it's fun to have one every so often. It's a fun thing to do.
I don't like to brag about this, but I have heartburn issues, and so I for a long time couldn't drink Bloody Marys or a few other things, mostly because I would come away with like horrible acid reflux. But I've gotten it mostly under control as an adult. A Burger Mary.
That would be a Burger Mary.
I wonder if that's really what they call them in the UK.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Aaron Y. My first drink at 13 was a Bloody Mary. Woo, Aaron Y.
It must not be a Wisconsin one, because in Wisconsin you wouldn't even get drunk due to all the calories you're eating.
That's true. Good point. It's a meal in itself.
Just on half a brick of cheese.
Oh man.
3 kinds of meat.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, that was fun doing that with the rim and everything.
Wow. That's cool. Yeah. So I loved it. I'm glad they asked to see that, because that's neat to see that too.
Yeah, I forgot that might be interesting.
And then I see a little down in the corner there, one of your distillers. Would you mind sharing? I know some of us have seen those, but we have 4 new distillers as well.
We do.
Maybe it'd be fun to share those. Maybe give a little story about, because I think the fun thing about these, people might not know, is that you have such a great creative background, largely because of your background in comics and graphic novels. And so you oftentimes are creating characters, creating backstories. And so a substantial, if not nearly all, of the characters from the original Distilled backstories were you coming up with those characters. And of course, these as well. So I'd love to hear a little bit of backstory on the 4 characters that we get to play with in the Cocktails expansion.
Yeah, sure. I think in the base game, when we were talking about it, I don't know if people know or remember that I was more involved in the early stages of that than I think most game artists are.
Oh yeah, good point.
We were prototyping, like even after you had prototyped it a bunch, and then we were like starting to produce it, we were still prototyping through Tabletop Simulator, because you had figured out like, oh, we can like test this and actually like keep fixing the things that are weird.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And so I was concepting things out for that, and there's a lot that actually got cut. Not a ton, but like enough for an expansion, probably.
Yeah.
It'd be like the director's cut or whatever. But yeah, so I was like, when we were coming up with these distillers, I kept imagining them as something. So I think we wanted an athlete, or we wanted a Swedish distiller, and so I decided she was like an Olympic skier, and then I sort of created like a little story about that. And so yeah, they were all kind of like that. So this one, This one's our new America's distiller. I named her Viviana Santiago. Decided she was Cuban, hence the cigar. And I pictured her in kind of like the 1940s or so, or actually maybe a little before, in Cuba, back when American tourists would come down to Cuba. Actually, it was a little before, because it was, I think, a holdover from Prohibition. American tourists would fly down to Cuba because it was barely outside the country, and would get drunk. So a lot of speakeasies and stuff would pop up down there. And so I was looking into that for inspiration, and read up about a was it I think it's the birthplace of the mojito. And so I kind of like reworked that story, that sort of founding legend of the mojito, into something a little bit different for this person. And so I kind of like have a story that's unique to Cuba, that she's like the proprietor of this hot spot where all these American tourists would show up, even celebrities and stuff. That's her. So
that's cool.
Yeah. Kind of gave her some 1940s looking clothes.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. And for those that don't know, these all have stories on the back. So it'll probably a little of what Erik said is a story always on these backs. So you'll be able to learn about each of these as well on the back of the cards.
Richard, and so that's the spirit behind this one, is it's sort of referencing that mojito place.
Richard's asked, and you might get to it too, which was your favorite character to create for the expansion? Upgrades, collectors,
I'll probably get to it pretty quickly.
I have a feeling I know which one that's going to be.
I actually don't know which one's next, so we'll see. Aha! Yes, this might be my favorite one. I wasn't gonna put a self insert, but you asked me like, "Hey, are you gonna put in a self portrait in this game?" And I was like, "Oh, I didn't thought of it. Maybe I should," because people probably have figured out that the designer bottle from the base game is you. That's my best rendering of a Dave Beck head in ceramic, short of having someone cast it. We now have Richard's cameo in the bottle.
Yep.
And so I gave myself a little insert here for the European distiller, who is based on me, but me as Dracula.
I don't know. Yeah, Aaron White begs to differ, but I think very much so. He looks very much like that Romanian Count distiller. Yes. I think Erik's got a picture to prove it even.
I do. I'll pull
Erik has acted this part. He's acted a darn good Dracula.
I have. Well. I do community theater. I actually haven't done any in about a year and a half, and I kind of have the itch to do some more. But you know, you do community theater and you do what's in front of you. But we did Dracula 1 year, and it's probably like the role people know me from now. I've had a couple like lead or title roles. This is one of them. There's Dave, you can see in this photo, getting bitten. And me. And so I kind of based the character art a little bit on my own makeup from that show, which, I mean, I didn't cut my hair for a little bit, so I had to like kind of pulled it all back, slicked it all back. It's a few years later, it's getting more gray than it was then. But even back then, I dyed it, and then I put in white streaks in a couple places. So the character design references that. And the costume is not this, but yeah, I have the color picture too, but it's a little warm. This is in the basement of our historic theater in town. This is where the Distilled Cocktails Kickstarter video was shot.
Yep. And before they painted it, before they redid it, I think, right?
Yeah, back when it was just like kind of a useless room.
Yeah.
Now it's a cocktail bar, and it makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
Actually, back here is Molly, one of my former students who also went to, and actually Jason, another former student, former students back here. Yeah, I recognized Molly, and then it took me a second to figure out that was Jason. That's
funny.
I think they went together with a few folks. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, it's based on moi.
Funny.
So I don't know if I hold them next to each other, maybe you can start to see.
Oh, totally. I mean, I can see it 100%. I think it's so much you. I love it. I think it's hilarious. And for those that haven't, I mean, I'm sure you've seen it if you're on Facebook or Instagram, the ads featuring this guy and there's where he comes alive too. He kind of like pops up. Have you seen those, Erik? Have you seen?
Yes, yes. They're targeting me. I'm not sure why. It's pretty cool though. Yeah, this was a super fun play to be in. I had to learn how to really deliver dialogue with fangs in. I won't talk about that too much more, but it was a good time. And actually, yeah, to this day, I might be walking around town or like going into a restaurant getting a sandwich, and someone will say like, "Oh, hey, Dracula," or like, "Hey, were you in that play like 6 years ago?"
That's funny.
It is funny. The last play I was in was Cinderella, and the young lady who played Cinderella works at the Mabel Tainter nowadays. And she was telling me, she wasn't there when we were filming the Kickstarter video, but she was telling me sometime this summer that that people will be like, "Hey, Cinderella," or like, "Hey, it's Cinderella." And I said, "Oh yeah, get used to it." So I think if you play like an iconic character like that,
yeah, it sticks around. Bring up the next one real quick. Real quick, I'm going to answer Ian's question. Wondering if you could have an itemized price list for all the add-ons that will be available for cocktails. Yes, Ian. If you go to the Kickstarter page and you see a chart that has all of our stuff, and there's an MSRP thing, that basically has all the add-on prices. That's how much everything will be. Some of the add-ons for older distilled stuff might be a little different. If anything, maybe a little less. But for the most part, you can pretty much bet on those prices. The add-ons for after the campaign, after the pledge, when the pledge manager's open. Hope that helps. But yeah. Okay, keep going, Erik.
Sure. Before I moved on from this, I was going to say that the name of this character, like this is like the least culturally sensitive thing I'm doing, and I figured like it's Dracula, you're going all in on the Dracula thing, right? Like, but I did translate my last name into Romanian. So Evensen is a Norwegian name. It means son of Evan. It's not Evan, Evan. It's a different name. It's from Old Norse name Eivind. So it doesn't totally translate to this, but it's pretty close, right? So like Ivanescu would be son of. So that's how I signed it.
Nice. Love it.
So I did my best, but it's also Dracula. Hopefully the Romanians are not upset about it being Dracula. They've probably seen it before.
Yeah, I think they're probably. I'm guessing they have a decent tourist income from Dracula tourists that come to Romania already.
The background for this distiller is that he was a noble. He had a collection of spirits. Necromancy joke, and they've turned his castle into a tourist attraction with a distillery.
I love it.
This one was my favorite one. I'm saying this one's my favorite one, but really I think it's Cleopatra.
That's good, because Richard said you weren't allowed to use Dracula, the other one. So this is good.
Richard can't tell me which one's my favorite. This one is Cleopatra the Alchemist, and this is a real person. And this was something that I discovered when poking around in like distilling history. I was thinking about Africa, and we were going like, what have we not used from Africa and the Middle East? And we haven't used Egypt, so. It's kind of an interesting one to think about, but Egypt has a lot of good like imagery. And I didn't know about Cleopatra the Alchemist, but she's a legendary, probably semi-real historical figure.
And not Cleopatra. For people out there, it's not Cleopatra, Cleopatra.
Yeah, not that Cleopatra, just another person named Cleopatra.
Yeah. From Egypt.
She's not the only one. Ancient Egypt is so old that from Cleopatra till now is a shorter period of time than from Cleopatra to the pyramids.
That's crazy, really.
It's insane.
Wow.
But yeah, this is Cleopatra the Alchemist. She was rumored to be one of only like I think 4 women who knew the secrets of the Philosopher's Stone.
Wow.
So she had the power to turn stuff into gold, and I thought that was pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's
She also
awesome.
is rumored to have invented the Alembic still.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. That's so cool.
I don't know if any of that's real or not, but I decided that is cool enough to like put her on
Enough
what
for us. Yeah.
So she's kind of here, mixing stuff into a ball. I don't know
Love it.
exactly what she's doing.
So cool.
And it's Egyptian. It's a little bit of that Greco-Egyptian influence. It's that period. So
yeah.
It's
So cool.
Great. And then our last one is, I probably won't pronounce this totally correct, but Dr. Kwan Charoen from Thailand. This one is, I thought of him as a college professor. This was, I think, the last one I was doing. And it's like, oh, what idea was strong enough that I could return to it a little bit? And we had a academic type in the base game, and I thought, I wonder if that works. But then I saw the wonderful regalia that Thai professors wear, and it looks like this.
That's cool.
I think I made up the stripe pattern, but like every university has its own stripe pattern. Like it's a regalia thing.
Nice.
So it's like kind of how our stuff, Dave, like has like different color hoods depending on where you graduated from. This is the same idea. And that was all the inspiration I needed to like start going for it with this guy.
That's cool.
And I started looking into kind of like distilling culture in Thailand and how it's really weird to us. Like it's really it's locked down. It's really locked down, and so there's a lot of stuff that happens in micro distilleries, like stuff people do in their house. So I imagine him. I basically thought about like Walter White from Breaking Bad. like here's a chemistry teacher who's going home at night and is like working out his recipe for spirits. So that's kind of where that came from.
Yeah, that is so cool.
Yeah, I liked him a lot. I thought he ended up being pretty cool.
He's great. He's great. Wow, 4 great ones. It's so fun. Yeah, we've been playing with them. They played the 4-player game, played with all 4 the other night. That was a lot of fun to watch them all play. And then you've got the backs of them have those stories, which is cool. So
yeah, so his backstory is about Lao Si, which is a spirit that might use a number of things, but in this case, coconut. Yeah, he is a home still chemistry professor. After he gets tenure, he launches his distillery. I decided that's something he would do after tenure.
That's right.
When you can start doing the weird stuff.
That's right. I love it. So
like
cool.
Start a board game publishing empire.
That's right. Wouldn't know anything about that.
I don't know where I got that idea.
No. Oh, that's so cool. Nice. That is so cool. Yeah, so this is great. So we've got to see the bottles, we got the cocktails, those distillers. It is so cool. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Eric.
Yeah.
It's awesome. So for people still tuning in and watching, hopefully you got to see some neat inside stuff that you didn't get to see otherwise. And again, we have all this, well, most of this, not some of those bottles because they're so brand new. But if you are someone that uses Tabletop Simulator, you can see some of this up close, as well as a ton of upgrades. He's illustrated ingredients, tons of new stuff that you can see in person or up close. So again, if you want more, be sure to see it there. But also you see some of it on the campaign page. And of course, you're going to get to see it if you're back in the game as well. Paulie, Doc Chills, Paulie's one of he helps us out at conventions. So that's awesome.
Nice.
Thanks Paulie. Chills. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in here too. One
Doc
more
Chills
thing.
is a super-villain name. I like it.
Is it? Is it? Really?
I don't know.
If it is, yeah, it should be. You're right.
Raised and whatnot.
Yeah. One quick thing to remind people, one thing that Erik still is going to thankfully help us out with in illustrating is the prestigious upgrades. Now, Reminder everyone out there that we are going to be letting you all nominate ideas for prestigious upgrades. This is the last day to do it. Today is, and then soon in the next couple of days, we're going to open up voting where you get to vote on cool new ideas for prestigious upgrades. And then once we vote on those, Erik is going to be illustrating those. I'm really excited about that. So get in there one last day to throw that in. Hashtag upgrade in the comments. So be sure to jump in there.
Cool ones in there too.
Yeah, there are some really neat ones. So it's going to be tough to vote.
I'm going to just draw a cat at some point. Like I'm assuming a cat has.
I think I can pretty much guarantee you that's going to happen because the cat keeps coming up, and it's a real deal. It's a real thing. It's like most distilleries have mousers for that reason. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, ours is a fantastic mouser. It's disgusting. Good she is.
I wish we let ours outside. We don't, but I wish. Okay, so we're just over an hour, but I wanted to ask too, if so we've got cocktails, but you're of course also helping us out with not only are you helping us out with another game on the horizon. So if people still sticking around, maybe if you have anything to show us for class of '89.
I do. Funny you should ask.
Yeah, but then so if you work, that's the funny thing. I don't know how you do it, but working on that. But then if there's anything else you're working on, we'd love to get a sneak peek into the other things that you've got on your plate. And I'm sure this will be fun for other people to see too.
Open an acrobat. Actually, you know what? I could just go. I don't need to open it in acrobat. Just like show you the
preview.
So I assume most people who are following Paverson Games in any way are aware of Class of '89, but in case you're not, like the box art is here. Box art it looks about like this. It may change a little bit. I don't know yet. We'll see where we're at in a few months. But this is kind of where it's going. Do I need to talk about the concept behind the game?
Yeah, I mean, basically, yearbook. It's all about you being on in the yearbook club in the late '80s in high school, and I think that's good. And take it from there.
Yeah, sure. I mean, what's really awesome about it is I've fallen down these internet rabbit holes of nostalgia bait these days. There's some stuff on Instagram that I just follow that I'm like, oh, haha, 80s stuff, oh, 90s stuff. Because we're kind of living in that late 80s, early 90s era kind of with this. And so I'm kind of living and breathing that a lot these days. But class of '89. So it should present this whole yearbook. You're crafting a yearbook, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have 3 different types of cards in this game. There's a lot of other components too, but really all I've done is I've been drawing cards because there are a ton. I don't know the exact number. Dave, do you know?
Oh no, I don't. It's a lot.
Hundreds. It's hundreds.
Yes, it's lots. Yes,
and they're all unique or something like that. Like there's a lot of unique cards.
Yes.
So the three main types though I think are students, faculty, and staff. And so there's students. Each of these student cards represents a student that you put into the yearbook. Each of the faculty cards represents a faculty member you put in the yearbook, and then staff represents staff for the yearbook. So I think faculty and staff are both teachers, quote unquote, but faculty is like a homeroom or like a core class, and then staff is a little more specialized faculty.
Yeah, faculty will just maybe say their name, and they'll be in the actual with the students, and then the staff is going to be more on another spot that might be like art teacher or principal.
Right. So they're both faculty, but they represent different angles. So I went with a locker aesthetic for the students, chalkboard for the faculty, and then when it came to staff, I was actually struggling with what to do, and ended up thinking about I'm a teacher's kid, so. The last time I saw either of my parents at work was 12 years ago now. I did a visit to my dad's school before he retired. And I got to like go right into the break room, like the teacher's workroom. Most schools have something like this. Sometimes it's really small. And so I kind of was inspired by this idea that, maybe there's a old coffee machine. Maybe there's a bunch of mugs for people that they're not really taking care of. Maybe there's like notes, even passive aggressive notes to each other, that they leave. Like, yeah, whoever took my burrito, I want it back kind of
I
notes.
love it.
So anyway, that's the card backs.
Oh, of course, I didn't think Richard was watching, but he is. He can, of course, confirm the numbers. There you
This
are.
is the content I hope Richard has in mind. So thank you, Richard. 24. Oh, that's way less than I need to draw than I was imagining. That's actually really nice. That's good for me to know.
It's like, I'm done. No.
Yeah, I'm further along than I thought. This is not exhaustive of everything I've drawn. I just sort of grabbed a bunch at random. But, I laid out a few. I've done a lot more students. I think this is all the staff I've done so far, and I might change them up. But so far, we got a bunch of students here, got a bunch of faculty, and a bunch of staff. So this is kind of what they look like. The faculty have a blue background. I suppose I could make it green to match the chalkboard. We'll see. Students have sort of this blue, pink kind of like yearbook photo background, and then staff I put in gray. But again, these could change depending on if I end up doing a little bit more color shifting. I can zip forward a little bit and show some close-ups. So the students all have icons on the left and right of their names.
Yeah, nice. Yep.
These mock-ups, the icons are all the same because I don't know what they are yet.
Yeah.
But if you can imagine this, on the left, that book would be like maybe book club, and on the right, it might be student government, or student council, something like that. So in gameplay, you would maybe match student council to student council, and you'd have like some flow with who you place where. So there's a little bit of, you could sometimes do a little bit of visual matching too, at least is my idea. So I decided to draw a bunch of jocks.
I love it.
And so they're in Letterman sweaters, and that hat. There might be a cultural reference in there that hopefully is obnoxious. So I made some jocks kind of there to, do jock stuff. So they probably all have the athletic icon, sports icon, whatever that ends up being.
Love it. I
have some more normal kids. These are kids that, we can kind of place anywhere into any of these clubs or groups. So they're just like yearbook photos, and I'm trying to be a little fun, a little bit illustrative. They're goofy, but I don't want them to be like wildly goofy. I want them to be kind of more on a little bit more on this side, a little bit the comic book side. This is a faster way for me to draw too than the distilled art. So it helps with production for it to be a little bit, when you're drawing that many portraits, to be a little bit more like this. Yes, thank you. Flock of Seagulls haircut. I do need to draw that in. I also saw a photograph of my cousin-in-law, Anders Spano, who was in high school around this time. He's a jazz musician, bari sax player down in Madison, teaches at UW-Madison. And his like going back to school photo that he shared on social media recently had him in like white pants and Doc Martens and a Flock of Seagulls haircut and like a blazer with the cuffs rolled up and stuff. And I was like, man, I need to like steal that for the game. So I intend to do that too.
That's funny.
But these are I'm just making up names too. So I don't know if this one will stay Jennifer. I don't know if that one will stay Miguelito. Calvin K. Normal. What are you talking about? I think I knew a person with big blonde hair like that named Cheryl. So I think that's why I thought that one looked like a Cheryl.
Fun.
And then I decided I'd get into some goths, get some trad goths in there. So like these kids might hang out in the art room.
I love it.
Maybe they play in band. So anyway, that's kind of how these are coming together. I have more? I don't. Yeah, I plan to do a little bit more. Like the music teacher in there, I'm going to be drawing my dad. I'll probably throw in a couple of references here and there, maybe a few people I know. Um, so we'll see where it goes. But this is kind of where Class of '89
Oh, it's so
is
cool.
going, which I'm excited for. I think it'll be kind of fun and funny, a little bit light and humorous, which I think it's a good. These cards are small, like they have to read at a very small
they're
size.
small.
So I think
Yeah.
so. I need to be a little bit expressive with them for them to
Good point.
to read. So I'm excited for it, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
You know, it's almost like I just thought of this. It's not because it's probably a bad comparison, but it almost is like part of it because of the characters and the fun factor of the characters' faces and everything. It's like a grown up Guess Who.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not the same game at all, but like I always loved Guess Who because you could kind of look at these characters and like, there's something fun about them. And I get that same vibe beyond the fact that there's a cool game behind it too, but the same vibe with the fact that there's characters too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going for that. Like Susan here in the second from the right, second goth from the right.
Yeah.
I mean, you might notice that she looks a little like Susie Sue from Susie Sue and the Banshees.
Yeah.
That's on purpose. I hope we can keep her name Susan S.
Totally.
I think that's a nice like sort of reference point. So that's the kind of stuff I'm trying to work in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, yeah, that's where Class of '89 is going so far.
So cool. Love it. Okay, so you've got that. I mean, we're keeping you busy, but then what else you got? Because you also, I mean, you are also
thank you for asking what else I'm working on. When we were working on Distilled, the base game, in tandem, I was working on a graphic novel. I finished it up. I'd sort of been slow going a little bit here and there, but I'm preparing to kickstart it finally. So I don't know if anyone's interested in Norse mythology comics.
Oh my,
that's one of the things
cool.
I'm
Look
interested
at that.
in. So this is probably the Kickstarter cover image for it. It's pretty much what the cover of the book will look like too, except book cover format. But so I'm working out the details on that right now. We've got a video being produced by a mutual friend. It's a graphic novel that kind of adapts stories about Odin as a young god wandering through the world, kind of finding his way and fighting off, various monsters and wizards and stuff like that. So my first foray into comics was a graphic novel called Gods of Asgard. And I think of this as a bit of a sequel to that project. It's not really a sequel, but I think they live in the same universe. And so I'm pretty excited to get it out in the world finally. Like I've been sitting on it a little bit here and there. I've gone back to it a couple times to fix some things, pitched it to a couple of publishers. Publishers aren't really interested in taking a chance on indie stuff like this these days. But ultimately decided I would kickstart it because I've kickstarted comics before and know my way around that at least a little bit. So it's been a while.
Cool. Wow. Yeah. So how long is there a typical length of these as far as pages, illustrations, words?
This one's like 180 pages, I think.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And they're all fully colored like this too.
Yeah.
It was a lot of work.
I don't mean to put you on the spot. You can't like pull up a page or a single spread, can you? Just to help people see what that looks like.
Yeah, actually I probably can.
Jeez. I thought you were going to say like 24.
24.
I know, but you know what I mean. Like that's insane. That's amazing.
The most recent preview is there it is. Yep. Yeah. So I'm actually oops. What happened there? There we go. I'm actually also in the process of getting it edited by our mutual friend and colleague Dr. Kevin Derzakowski,
Mm-hmm.
said he'd edit it for me. So it's, why is this? Come on. Yeah. Let me let me pull it up again. Okay. Maybe I can just scroll through it or something. Damn it. Okay. Secret is don't mess with it. All right. So there's a few extra pages in here that actually don't mean anything. I'll scroll through. You can kind of see some.
Yeah. So wow, look at that. Every one is full color. Jeez.
Yeah. I had lettered it and then I re-lettered it because I didn't like what I had done.
Wow.
So it should be pretty. Should be pretty.
Huh.
I think it should be pretty fun, pretty cool. Hopefully,
That's pretty awesome.
Hopefully,
so when you do this, okay, cool. Thank you. So when you do this, you'll put it up on Kickstarter. You'll have it so people can back it and get obviously a physical copy.
Yep.
Do you also is it always common and expected people get a digital copy also or instead or not? Is that something people don't do anymore?
It's pretty common. People did it a lot. I mean, the last graphic novel I kickstarted had that. I don't want to do that anymore. Not because people don't read them that way, but because I found that book pirated all over the internet.
That's what I would worry about.
Yeah, that's what happens. So I learned my lesson. I don't want to do that again. So
yeah, I would think that like the whole point of like this beautiful printed book, you want it in your hand because I'm assuming this thing's like a decent size. It's not like small; it's a decent size, right?
Yeah, it'll probably be standard comic dimensions. So that's 6 and a half by 10 or something.
Yeah. Wow. Did you say when you're like not like there's an exact date, but is this like something later this year? Is this next year? Like, what are you kind of aiming for?
I don't know. I was hoping to have it up in October, but I don't think that's going to happen now. But we'll see. Maybe it'll be a late October kind of thing. So,
but maybe this fall, maybe this
fall.
Awesome.
I haven't quite nailed down the printer yet. I have a couple of options available to me, and I need to do some pros and cons and stuff. Talk to some people.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. That's the other thing I'm working on. So
wow, you were busy.
I'm excited about it. I definitely want to get a little attention on it. So
yeah. Oh, I can't wait. Yeah, this will be great because we'll have to once that's out, we'll have to definitely let everyone know because this seems like a lot of people that if they're fans of the game, they'd probably love to also know that that's out there.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, it's not about whiskey, but same artist, I guess. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's cool. Well, hey, man, this is awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. And thanks to everybody else for tuning in as well. Anything else?
Yeah.
Anything else you wanted to share? Anything else? Is that good?
That's cool for me. I think if anyone wants to find me, I'm online in a few different places. I don't treat my Facebook as a public-facing Facebook, so I would ask anyone not to send me friend requests. But because I kind of use it to keep track of local events and what's happening with my niece. It's not really an artist's page, but you're more than welcome to follow me on Instagram at EA Evensen. Or you can find me on my website, which is erik-evensen.com. And if anyone's interested in that or reaching out to me, I will point out, just because I've been told I'm a hard person to track down. It's loading some fonts here. Oh, there we go. I do have a website. It's got Distilled as the featured project on the front. And if you go to contact, there is a contact page that goes directly to my email. So I don't think I'm actually that hard to find or track down, but I have been told that by a couple of people in the last 5 years. So EA Evensen or ericevensen.com. No O's in there. So you gotta spell it okay. But conveniently, my name's right there on the Distilled box. So Dave, you muted, I think. Or I'm muted.
Oh, I'm muted. Yep, I muted myself. Sorry, I was muted because I was typing. Now I'm there. Thank you so much. Thanks everybody for tuning in. This has been awesome. You got to see some great new art that he's done, art that's coming soon. Again, happy birthday to Richard. He stayed on. You need to go to bed, sir. It's not your birthday anymore. Sorry.
Yeah.
And thanks everyone for your support with cocktails. Again, you got a little bit more time to suggest those ideas for prestigious distillery upgrades. Remember, tomorrow night I am doing a solo playthrough of cocktails. So if you want to see that, and I am interviewing or just chatting with David Digby just for a little bit, the solo designer of cocktails. And then also Blake Tucker, Dr. Inkwell will be on Friday to do a little bit more cocktails 201. And then we have a 2-player playthrough of cocktails on Saturday. So lots of live events coming up. So be sure to tune in to what you want to get your cocktails fix. And again, thanks everyone for all your support of the campaign. And thanks especially to Erik for all your amazing skills and giving your time tonight to show us a little behind the scenes look at everything. So thanks, Erik.
Absolutely.
Cool. There it is. And yeah, with that, we'll leave you to it and let Dracula take us out with that one more bite. And yeah, have a good night, everybody. See you next time. Bye.